आज हम देखने वाले हैं कुछ बहुत weird tech which coders and nerds use. This is basically a recommendation from one of a very niche JV Skulls नाम के एक coder slash techie का, who's basically living out of a van. He's a techie. And the reason why I'm reviewing this video is because I think जो products आप इस वीडियो में देखने वाले हो, I can guarantee कि आपने इनको नहीं देखा होगा किसी और वीडियो में, या फिर आसपास तो डेफिनेटली नहीं देखा होगा। अगर आपने इनमें से कोई सा भी प्रोडक्ट अपने आसपास देखा है या फिर यूज किया है तो प्लीज कमेंट सेक्शन में हमें जरूर बताइएगा। And let's get down to the video.
Get right into the video. I also created an undated version of my planner, so if you're interested in that, the link's down in the description. Thank you. So the first item on this list is something that I actually really enjoy. It's my BlackBerry Key 2. I've actually talked about it before on this channel, but I decided I'd give a quick update. So you may be wondering why I'm using a smartphone that's like 6 years old, and let me tell you why, friends, because it has a physical keyboard, which means you can do a lot of cool stuff with it through this app called Termux, which is just like a terminal for your Android phone. Having the physical keyboard makes using terminal stuff so much easier than using the virtual keyboard. You guys don't even know. Because it's getting a bit older, it's a bit slow now, and it's still on Android 8.1, but for the stuff I do with it, I'm not too worried, and it's still quick enough for everything I gotta do with it. Since my last video, I actually started to read on it through co-reader. Nowadays, I'm only carrying one device most of the time, and I find that for reading for under 20 minutes, it's been actually very pleasant. So since my last video about it, I've actually been using it with this wireless keyboard, and if I'm trying to like SSH into something and do more comprehensive computing, having a physical keyboard is really useful, and this one has actually been really solid, even for how old it is.
This guy is a techie, hardcore techie. सबके लिए शायद ये काम नहीं करेगा, especially अगर आप business वाले बंदे हो या फिर non-techie हो. He's a hardcore coder the way I look at it. He's using a BlackBerry phone and he is using it in the terminal mode. Terminal mode usually coders ही use करते हैं in general. A very 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 cool techie. देखो keyboard और लैपटॉप, इसमें उसको ज्यादा आनंद आता है.
Great, and it works great with the phone, so yeah, really happy with it. So the next item on my list is something that I've been using for the past 2 or 3 years actually, and of course it's my Hisense Touch. Now that it's been so long, I thought I'd make another update since a lot has changed in this little sphere of technology, and I thought I'd give you guys another update and kind of more of my thoughts on it now that I've used it for longer. So of course the Palma has come out since I made my last video. I've had it for a little bit, and I decided to stick with the Hisense Touch. The Palma is like the size of a 15 Pro Max. It's just too big for me, and I personally value portability and long-term comfort while reading. I also think the Hisense is built much better, and I just have a lot more confidence in bringing it out. I've seen some Reddit posts about the Palma like losing its screen and stuff like that, and the Hisense has been like, it looks brand new even though I've had it for like 3 years.
It's a phone. Wait, Hisense ink smartphone. Yep, it's an e-ink smartphone. यार ये I also want to get my hands on something like this यार. एक तो बैटरी लाइफ बहुत सही होती है इन सारे devices की, and secondly I think the kind of distractions that your usual smartphone might have, इसमें शायद वो कम होता है relatively. But going back to the video.
Years now, bring it everywhere. Since my last video, it's actually been cracked, so you can root it and install Google Play. I also figured out how to bind the e-ink button on the left side of the device to go to the next page in co-reader, and that has enabled me to read on both sides of the bed now when I'm laying down in the fetal position, which is awesome. So it actually ships with like a matte screen protector from the factory, but it's not like the greatest screen protector ever. I actually found this one recently, and I have been extremely happy with it. Like, the size of it makes it look perfect, and it fixes one of the main problems with the device. So now I think the only issue with it is there's no SD card. It could be 300 PPI, and my battery life has degraded now that it's been so long, but yeah, I'm still super happy with the Hisense Touch. So now that I'm living in a van, I've been super conscientious about how much like physical space something takes up, and I'm super excited to show you guys this laptop that I've been using for some time now. Is a One Netbook One Mix 3S. So I kind of started my UMPC journey with this guy. It's a GPD Pocket 1, and
this is like paradise for nerds, man. Imagine itta chota sa laptop and you can carry it anywhere. It works. Wow.
It's really cute, but it only has an Atom X7 and 8 gigs of DDR3 with eMMC storage, which is like SD card level of speed. So yeah, it's super potato, and nowadays I kind of just use it on the side of my computer. So after trying the Pocket 1 for a while, I ended up giving the Chewy MiniBook X a shot. This one's a 9-incher, and it has a N100 Intel quad-core processor with 12 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD. It's been super stable in Linux, and I've been actually quite happy with the performance. performance, but I ended up deciding to go a different route because the screen color accuracy is not super great, and I mainly use these laptops nowadays to study another language, and consuming a lot of media is a part of that, so just having like a nice screen has become pretty important to me. Other than that though, this is a pretty swag laptop. I like the keyboard, and also the screen protector I got for it. It's not like the greatest, so it looks kind of ghetto, but yeah, pretty good laptop. I was browsing online and I finally managed to find one of these guys. Unfortunately, they're kind of rare. It's a one netbook, one Mix 3S. There's a few of these. There's the 3, the 3S, and the 3 Pro, and I ended up finding the S in Japan actually. This guy has a 10th gen i3, 8 gigs of RAM, and 512 GB SSD. I'm not super concerned about the specs as long as I can do everything I need to. It's fine, and yeah, I've been really happy with it. Running Linux, it's been a great experience actually. Everything works out of the box, unlike my GPD Pocket 1, which is like kind of a nightmare to set up. The screen is fantastic. I got like a screen protector for it. The keyboard feels really great. It has an infrared mouse, which works surprisingly well. I've been getting about 4 to 5 hours on it. For a used laptop, it's not the end of the world. It's not fantastic, but it is what it is. And the fan kind of goes hog wild sometimes. It reminds me of my old X220, but yeah, I guess I'm kind of find it charming a little bit. But just using this on the go in conjunction with my BlackBerry Key 2, it's like a super powerful setup where I can like take notes on the BlackBerry while having like a textbook or something, or any reference notes on the laptop. One of the coolest things ever. So the next item on this list is something that I've been very pleased with. It's these headphones actually. These are Moondrop Katos. They're not super meta right now. There are cheaper ones out there, but I've been very happy with these ones specifically. So I'm not much of an audiophile, but you know I do respect good sounding audio, and I've been super happy with these. I got them for about $100 used on eBay. Prior to this, I had been using Apple AirPods.
These are fairly interesting headphones. I found similar ones in Singapore. इसमें क्या होता है? You can swap the heads out. ये जो आप देख रहे हो ना, ये these buds can actually be replaced अगर ये खराब हो जाए तो यहाँ पे आप just a plug in and plug out, and makes these kind of headphones super durable, super customizable. आप अपने हिसाब से इसको swap in swap out कर सकते हो.
And nothing ear A's for the longest time, and I still do use ear A's. I ended up switching off of the AirPods because now that I'm in an office, I need better sound isolation. And before the AirPods, I was using Sennheiser IE600s, but I ended up switching off of those because the fit wasn't super fantastic for me. The Katos, I've been happy with the sound signature. They're not super bassy or anything, but it works for my genres of music that I usually listen to. They sound great with my Hisense Touch. You don't need to drive them super hard, and I found them comfortable, and especially after upgrading the cable, the portability has been really nice, and the sound isolation has been plenty for where I'm working right now. So the next item on this list is something that I feel like more people should know about, so I decided to talk about it in this video. It's a Books Go 10.3. I used the Books Note X for the longest time, which is like a Chinese exclusive model, and it was always frustrating to me that they never had like an international version. I feel as though this tablet is that, so I'm a big fan of Books tablets because they give you Android, which allows you to do way more stuff on it compared to other tablets in the technological niche.
Very interesting. E-ink tablets. So there's not just a tablet. I think Reincarnate नाम का भी एक brand है with
The model, and it was always frustrating to me that they never had like a 10.3. I used the Books Note X for the like more people should know about, so I decided to talk about it in this video. It's a Books Go 10.3. I used the Books Note X for the longest time, which is like a Chinese exclusive model, and it was always frustrating to me that they never had like an international version. I feel as though this tablet is that, so I'm a big fan of Books tablets because they give you Android, which allows you to do way more stuff on it compared to other tablets in the technological niche. Looking at you, Remarkable and Kindle Scribe, you're not aware of these. They're just basically a tablet with an e-ink screen. They're kind of fragile and delicate, so if you do end up buying one, highly recommend you get a case.
इस टाइप के टैबलेट्स तो हम काफी टाइम से खोज रहे थे. मैं तो काफी टाइम से खोज रहा था. मुझे तो कोई भी अपने बजट में मिला नहीं. आई थिंक द क्लोजेस्ट दैट केम वाज रीइनकार्नेट. वो भी ई-इंक नोट टेकर टाइप का है, जहाँ पे आप उस पे स्क्रिबल करते हो and it can digitally move into a notebook kind of a format, or it gets saved. This one is running on Android, as well as of course this gives you options to scribble, probably save and all.
Case, using notes and taking notes on a tablet like this is actually super clutch because I'm not using any more analog stuff at the moment just due to me being in a van. I don't really have like a desk. I've been using the Books Tab 10C for a long time, which is like a Chinese exclusive one, but the Go is pretty good in that it's a lot thinner. Even though it doesn't have a backlight, it also has better battery life as well. So the next item actually doesn't have a battery, unfortunately. It's my wallet. I thought I'd give you guys a quick update since I've made some changes since my last video mentioning it, so yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So even though I said that I'm not really using analog writing tools nowadays, I actually do still have a notebook on me at all times. In that notebook, I actually have a habit tracker, so I switched away from a digital habit tracker to a physical one. So it's convenient because I always have my wallet on me, and I've actually upgraded the pen from last year from a Zebra.
There is something about pen and paper, you know, the moment you hold a pen or a pencil and then start scribbling on a piece of paper, I think whatever you write, you're able to grasp things or internalize things a little bit better if you write it down. I think जिस तरीके से हम बड़े हुए हैं, हमें लिख करके याद करवाने की ही आदत डाली गई है, और it's just natural basic instinct which kicks in the moment you start holding a pen and paper and writing it. There's something magical about it.
One to this pilot one, and actually writes pretty nicely. So yeah, it's a pretty great wallet. I've had it for a few years now, no complaints. So one of the main reasons I moved into a van was to work on myself. One area that I've been trying to improve a lot in and trying to figure stuff out in is spirituality, which is something that I don't really want to talk about too much on YouTube. But this next piece of technology has been super useful in figuring that out and recording my observations and my own like thoughts about it. And it is a Japanese typewriter. It's called the Pomera DM250. So I think it's pretty important to romanticize the process. And because I don't really have like a desk in my van to write out stuff, typing on notes has been something I've had to find a new process for. And then I think for something as important as one's spirituality, things should be taken seriously. I looked into of different note-taking options that I could use while I was on the road. This is actually before my UMPC stuff because it seems a little bit redundant, but I ended up on this digital typewriter. Basically, there's a subreddit called WriterDuck where they make like dedicated writers, and this is probably the best one out there. It's USB-C, has a really great screen, the keyboard feels awesome, has 16 gigs of dedicated storage, and you can also expand it via SD card. And yeah, so I mainly use it for writing about that, and I also have a personal journal that I've been keeping up a lot, and it's become super integral to my closing routine at the end of the day, because I just feel like doing all that journaling stuff on the laptop isn't as romantic as this thing, as corny as that is. So yeah, I've been extremely happy with it. So the next item on this list is something that is kind of random for this channel, but I've been having a lot of fun with. It is a Retroid Pocket 2S. So I've been doing Anki for so long now that I kind of look for ways to make it more interesting. Came across these like handheld game things a while back. I've always been super interested in them, but for some reason I never put the two and two together until now. And since then I've actually been really happy with it for not only just using Anki, but also for like consuming media in other languages. It's been like such a useful tool because it's like separate from my phone and my BlackBerry. So it feels like something that I can like toggle to mentally. I was like, now it's time to study a different language. So you guys know what I mean? I actually really like this device. The 2S is a bit older now, but I opted for this one because it is compact and fits in the pocket, and I opted for Android because it can run Anki Droid. So this next thing I've dilly-dallied on making a completely dedicated video on for some time now, and I don't think I actually will, but it's a 903KC. I kind of have a video talking about it already on my channel, but I'm actually not currently using it right now. Now that I'm in a different state, I kind of need GPS because the roads here are like so wonky, bro. And like, yeah, so having a phone like this is just impractical since there's so much friction with a lot of different things, and I don't even feel like particularly distracted or addicted to many things in my life at the moment anyways. But yeah, this is like such a cool piece of technology. I thought I would have to show you.
आई थिंक मेरे लिए तो जो अलग अलग टाइप के छोटे वाले लैपटॉप्स दोज वर द बेस्ट एंड ऑफ कोर्स द ई इंक फोन एंड द ई इंक टैबलेट. ऐसे और कौन से वियर्ड टेक आपने अपने आसपास देखे हैं प्लीज कमेंट सेक्शन में हमें जरूर बताइएगा, और हम मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में.